What is up, y'all? It's your girl, Brand New, and honey, I am back in the building, and this time, honey, I'm back to talk about Naya Rivera. Naya Rivera was last seen, you guys. She was swimming in a lake with her son. They found the son on the boat. You know, he had his life jacket. He was by himself. And then there was no sign of Naya. And I guess the little boy told them that his mom had pretty much jumped in the water and she never came back up, you know. She never came back up to the boat. So they are all thinking, the investigators, police, everybody is thinking that she has drowned, you know, in this lake. So I want to play what the psychic is saying for you guys. I found a psychic reading on this, and I'm going to play that in a minute. And then first, though, I want to do a little bit of history on Naya Rivera. I did a little research on her yesterday, and the main thing, you guys, that keeps coming up is this girl has some kind of mental health issues. One of the psychics, I believe, that I just saw said that she may have some type of schizophrenia issues. And by the way, is she the one that Big Sean made that song about? I don't F with you. Y'all remember that song? He was talking about some woman. I believe it was her. Y'all remember that Naya Rivera and Big Sean, they was actually engaged. So I'm just going to play a few clips, you guys, before we get into the psychic reading. We also know that Naya Rivera was arrested for domestic battery in the past with her husband. So let me play, a string of clips, and then we're going to get into what the psychic is saying.
I had a bad Thanksgiving. Really bad. You know her from Glee. She was arrested on Saturday for allegedly beating on her husband. Ryan Dorsey. They were spending Thanksgiving together at his family's in West Virginia, taking a walk with their 2-year-old son.
With the kid, it's always so hard with the kids around.
And somehow they were arguing over the kid with the kid. And according to him, she just went to town on him.
Yeah, we were told that his injuries included he got hit in the face, he got hit in the lip, but he did not have to go to the hospital.
My understanding is, though, he had a bloody lip.
Yeah, bloody lip, he got hit in the head, but he did not have to go to the hospital.
So apparently he actually videotaped this. I'm assuming he had an iPhone. So I don't know how that works. But in the middle of the argument, he picks up the iPhone.
Well, sometimes in a situation where
she must have started hitting him,
and then
she picks up the phone, and then she records it.
Right.
He records it. So apparently he recorded the beating, which is obviously powerful evidence if that's so, and gave it to the police. So the police have this video. Now, this is misdemeanor battery. She actually appeared in court over the weekend where she was arraigned and released, I believe, in $1,000 bail. But that is her in court.
Looking pretty crazy.
Yeah, not the way you want to spend Thanksgiving weekend for sure.
But Big Sean told us, though, that she's off her marbles. So, I don't know why anybody's surprised.
Yeah, look, we don't know specifically what precipitated it. We know that they were arguing about the child. We don't know what she says he was doing.
Right.
So that's probably going to be the defense here.
At this point, it's just basically his... But like she said before, Big Sean had said before that she was maybe a little bit off kilter and stuff like that, and people will rush to judgment before the rest of these facts have come out. But it's interesting that the kind of shoes on the other foot here in terms of this actual case, because I feel like people are less likely to believe the man in this. I've seen a lot of stuff on social media with people saying there's no possible way she could have actually done these things.
But it's on camera, so clearly, and if you have blood on him, that's evidence enough. It doesn't, a lot of times, women could be the people that end up beating up the man at that type of situation. People are always like, oh, but he's the man, he's the man. No, women have hands, too.
Ryan, you were engaged to Big Sean.
Was.
And it obviously was, rumored that one of his biggest songs was about you.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel about that?
I talked about that in the book, and a conversation that I had with him, because I had heard that song way before, we weren't together and it wasn't completely finished. And I had made a request that, just people are already going to think it's about, a relationship or a girl. So just kind of downplay that for me. You know, I
Yeah.
feel like we had both been through a lot at this point, so I just felt like, why add fuel to the fire? And then, you know, the song came out, and it is what it is, and who knows who it's about, but, you know.
Well, I was shocked to find out that you shared about your decision to have an abortion.
Yeah.
And you also go deep about how you told Ryan about this. So I want to know, how did he react, and how did it affect your relationship?
Yeah, I mean, I share in the book that, you know, when I had made that decision, I made it by myself. And as I feel like, you know, is the case for a lot of women. And I did not share it with Ryan at the time. And by the time we sort of reconnected, and I was like, gosh, there's a reason why you keep coming back in my life and we keep coming back together. And I was like, I have to tell you something. You know, I put in the book, like, verbatim what he said. And I think it was the kindest and best thing that any man could have ever said in that situation. And it just made me love him that much more. So I thank him.
So, and you guys have to hear this, because we all kind of were like, what a man, when we heard that reaction. For those who haven't, and you're not spoiling it, but
No.
what did he say?
He said, you know, in the short time that we dated, I wish that I could have done something to make you feel like you could have trusted me with that information, because I would have loved to have been there with you. And I was like,
Wow.
wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much.
So selfless.
Yeah.
Ventura County, where the search for missing actress Naya Rivera is about to get underway again.
Investigators think that the former Glee star drowned in Lake Piru in Los Padres National Forest. CBS 2's Tina Patel, she's been live at the scene all morning. Tina, you just got an update from authorities.
Yeah, we just talked to the Ventura County Sheriff's Department. They say they are getting ready to get their divers back in the water. They're also bringing in sonar, and they're going to have drones and helicopters in the air helping with this search. They are still optimistic, holding out hope that they'll be able to find this actress. Let's take a look at some video. We'll show you Naya Rivera, 33 years old, an actress and a singer, probably best known, as you said, for her role on Glee. Now, the Sheriff's Department says she came here to Lake Piru yesterday afternoon with her 4-year-old son. They rented a pontoon. Take a look at this video. In the afternoon, the renter of that pontoon went out because the boat had not been returned. He found it drifting on the water in the north part of the lake with the 4-year-old on board. Now, that 4-year-old was sleeping at the time. He later told authorities that he had been swimming with his mother. She brought him back onto the boat, but it's not clear why she did not make it on the boat as well. They have been searching for her ever since. Take a look at this post of social media. This is what Naya Rivera posted just 6 days ago. A message that says, no matter the year, circumstance, or stripes, every day you're alive is a blessing. Make the most of today, and every day you are given. Tomorrow is not promised. And then the very last thing she posted on social media a couple days ago was a picture of her and her son, saying just the two of us. Again, we are told that that boy is okay, was in perfect health. And as we come back out here live, he has now been reunited with family. The Sheriff's Department says they are also talking with Rivera's family. And again, holding out hope. But they say, unfortunately, the conditions here at the lake are very, the lake is very dark. It's very, the depth is very a problem that they're going to have. So that's why, even though they searched for hours yesterday, they were not able to find anything. They're hoping they'll have more luck with their search today. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
Okay, you guys. So you guys heard all of those clips. Before I play the psychic reading, if you all do not believe in psychic readings, if you know you do not like them, then I suggest you click off this video right now. Psychic readings are for entertainment purposes only, and I do believe, though, in, some psychic readings, but everything is not going to be 100%. You all, we still do not know, any of us, what happened to Naya Rivera, but this psychic, is an intuitive, and she is basically just, following her tarot cards and, putting 2 and 2 together. So that's basically, what that is. And another disclaimer, you guys, when I do play a psychic, from now on, if you know that that's not something you want to hear, and you have a 5 sensory personality where you just can't get with psychic readings and you don't believe in it, and it's this, that, and the third, and like I stated, you guys, just click off the video. This is for people that do like psychic readings, that do believe in psychic readings. Okay, because it could give anybody a lot of guidance on their life and on certain situations and, you know, why they happen. Okay, so yes, YouTube is a big market and everybody participates in it, but for the most part, but I just really recommend that if you like something, you watch those type of videos. If you don't like something, don't believe in something, then do not watch the video. Okay? So I'm going to put that disclaimer out there. I'm going to let the psychic say what she has to say. I think that this psychic reading, because I've heard like 3 or 4, and this psychic reading to me made the most sense out of all of them, because it's just weird that she never got back on that boat. Very weird. And then she had always went to that lake, you know, with her son. You know, she was very familiar with that lake. So I don't know, you guys. It just sounds weird. And really quickly, I was first introduced to Naya Rivera, not from Glee, from when she played Gwendolyn on Family Matters. Who all remember her as a little girl, Gwendolyn, who used to be with Richie, little Richie, his cute little self. They was like little lovers, okay? They was like Katie and Franklin from My Wife and Kids, okay? They was the start of that. So very beautiful girl. This situation is sad. I would like to send my prayers out to her son, her family, just anybody affected by this tragedy. We still do not know if she is alive or dead. You know, they have not found her body, but, you know, even if somebody is missing, you guys, it's still very sad, and it's, you know, it's very hurtful. And the little boy, he's what, 4 years old? Could you imagine waking up on a boat and you know, you haven't seen your mother? You like, well, the last time I seen you, you was in the water swimming with me, you know. And I think, like I said before, they had her life jacket on the boat. You know, she didn't have it. So something is not clean in the buttermilk. Something very weird is going on. All right, guys, I'm going to play the psychic, and I will be in and out with my commentary.
First, let me tell you how good Spirit is. But before that, let me get through all of my hoopla. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you have not already, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you get all of my latest uploads. Don't forget to like, comment, and share if you find this interesting. Now back to my little...
Okay, so the name of this psychic, you guys, please subscribe to her channel. I found this psychic reading to be very interesting. Her name is One True Tarot TV. One True Tarot TV. So if you like the reading, check out, you know, her other readings.
So I was sitting here tonight and I was like, and I looked down at my box. I have a box that I hand painted and crafted that holds my tarot cards. It keeps them blessed even when I'm not using them, right? And something made me open the lid. I opened the lid and I looked to the farmost left, and I found the Illuminati tarot deck. And I picked it up and I was like, oh, I haven't gone through this. Right? And I said, how funny. The Illuminati tarot deck was telling me, hey, bring me out. So, without further ado, this reading is going to be centered around Naya Rivera. What happened? Where is she? Is she still with us? What? So, that being said, Spirit, please guide this tarot deck and tell us if Naya Rivera is still with the living. Again, Spirit, please guide this tarot deck and show us if Naya Rivera is still with the living. Last shuffle. And these are shuffling pretty good, so it was their time to do that. Like, shuffle through good. Here we go. Two of Swords. Okay, so Two of Swords is out. she was backstabbed. So this isn't definitively saying whether she's still with the living, but I can tell you that she has definitely been backstabbed. Something has definitely happened. She trusted somebody when she went out to the lake with her son. Oh, look at that. The Princess of Wands is backwards. Huh. So the Princess of Wands is in reverse. So that is telling us that, yeah, it was a female, somebody who she felt connected to, I want to say prosperity-wise, financially. It's backwards. So things were on a downhill spiral for Naya. She just wasn't doing and making the moves and the money that she was used to. King of Cups. So her ex, Ryan Dorsey, had all the influence at this point, had all the money. I think it's going to come out, and I'm looking at the camera, so please bear with me as I get these into focus for you guys, but it's going to come out that Ryan Dorsey was going to be challenging her because they did have shared custody. He was going to try to get full custody because he was going to make the power play. He was making more money. She was going to him more and more for financial help. The Hanged Man. So the decision about what happened today with her child being found out on the lake, that was a decision that she made. The circumstances, if you have not, please go to TMZ and you'll read just what I read, that they found a little boy on the boat by himself. They found her car at the boat rental place, but her purse was in the car. So it's a really weird circumstance. 10 of Cups, absolutely straight up. She was missing the family life. She was in a very depressive state. So she was missing, the husband, the happy child, and her. She really wanted that back. And I'm not saying that she wanted Ryan Dorsey back per se, but she wanted that family life, that family nucleus back. Up the Prince of Cups, upside down. She had been in a slew of relationships where she was let down. All of these guys were in it for the clout, right? We hear that in the urban community. Clout, clout, clout. Clout is a huge thing, and there was a lot of guys who were using her for the clout. Look at that, the 9 of Cups. Her independent wealth had seriously suffered. Even before the pandemic, she was going through a lot, and she was suffering quite a bit. Look at that, the Queen of Swords in reverse. She gave up. She was tired of fighting. She was tired of just everything. She was just tired. She was tired of the brave front and the brave face. And last card out, the Tower. Yeah, she made a bad decision, guys. So basically what's going on is it looks like what has happened to Naya, you have to be very careful with YouTube. What happened to end Naya's journey among the living is self-inflicted. She did it to herself. There is no malice. There is no secrecy. She did it to herself, and all the reasons were there. She had a bunch of failed relationships. Ryan Dorsey was making a power play to take her child away from her. She just gave up fighting. She was missing her family life. Look at that. She made a decision. So it's pretty straightforward, right? As of what happened and what happened to her.
Now, you guys, in my opinion, that, I don't know, I can see a lot of that. I can. A lot of people are saying, well, she loved her son. She would never leave her son. I see all of that. I don't feel like she hated her son. I feel like she loved her son. But from what I have heard about, people that commit suicide, when they are tired, they are tired. They are out of here. And one thing with people, that have mental illness issues. That is like what I heard from another psychic. I don't know for sure if this one said it, but I know I did hear that in one of the psychic readings that I did listen to, and I will play that for you guys. That way you guys can hear it too. When you have mental illness, you have certain moods. And, you know, some of us have heard of mood swings, but you can be in a certain mood to make you do things that you would not normally do. Okay. So maybe there was a moment where it was just like, I am sick of this. Maybe this was premeditated. Maybe it was planned. A lot of people said that, you know, they feel like this was a way for her to say goodbye to her child. Her child loved boats and, you know, she wanted to take him out and, you know, like all of those, type of things, you know, it makes a lot of sense. You know, everything, if you add everything together, the tweets that she put out, you know, saying just the two of us and, you know, it just all is tying into each other is what I will say. I was told, you guys, cause I've like been doing some research that she's like the third person off Glee to lose their life. Like what is going on? But yeah, that's kind of what I've been hearing. Like money wasn't the same for her no more. And, you know, and this isn't the first time though I've heard about Ryan Dorsey trying to like take the child away from her. And, you know, then I heard in this psychic reading that, you know, she had to go to the baby dad for, you know, money and, you know, she pretty much lost her independence. So I don't know, you guys. I just know I'm a woman myself and all of that is a lot, you know, for a person to deal with. A lot of people think that, oh, well, she's in Hollywood. She's made it. You should just be so happy. We got this pandemic going on. Some people can't get to work, can't find work, you know, and you put the mental illness with that, right? Put that with it. And but just like the psychic said, though, she was going through, you know, her little episodes before. She was already going through a lot, right? She's already going through a lot of stuff financially, mentally, emotionally with the child's father. I think she, filed for divorce twice. She finally divorced the guy. So, you know, they had a turbulent relationship. You heard in the clips that she, was charged for beating him up. The child's father, you know, she had a very turbulent life and things just seemed like they kept getting worse for her. And that would make one want to give up. Okay? Everybody is not as strong as the next person. Some people may want to commit suicide. They may want to just be done with this because it is a burden and a pain to keep living. Okay? So do I know what happened to Naya? No, but from what I'm hearing from the psychic and from, you know, all these different variables and factors, it just all makes sense for it to go down this way. Then I heard one psychic said that maybe she was kidnapped or, you know, that could be a possibility. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody may have been watching her, but I don't know. You got that and you have, you know, her and all her troubles that she was going through and she got sick and tired of it. You know, she just, I don't know, maybe wanted a way out, you know, of this world. And that was the way to, you know, finally say goodbye, you know, to her son, you know, who knows? But yeah, I could definitely see what the psychic is saying. If I add all that up, yeah, that would make somebody want to commit suicide. So we'll see. we'll find out more, guys, once more information comes out. Then we will all be, really clear then. But from the research I did on her, it just looked like she was not happy with her life. And from the interviews, I could see some mental illness within her. Not trying to be judgmental. You all know I work in the field, okay? So I know what I'm looking at. And we all kind of suffer from some form of mental illness, anxiety, depression. Do you see what I'm saying? That's a form of mental illness as well. But some people may have bipolar. I've had clients that were bipolar. I've worked with clients that were schizophrenic. So I know, what I'm looking at. I've been around this.
So super crazy, right? So our last question, and unfortunately, because it's evident in tarot that she is, or spirit, that she's no longer with us, that there's no need to say, hey, what are the 3 things she needs to focus on? Because it's done. It's extinguished, right? So, I will ask Spirit this. Spirit, please guide this tarot deck and show us if anyone in her life knew she was thinking about doing something drastic. Spirit, please guide us and show us if anyone in her life knew that she was thinking about doing something drastic. And please forgive the ash on my hand if you could see it. Once again, I just got out of the bathtub and decided to do this last shuffle. And I had 2 cards that just jumped out. So these are the first 2 cards. The 6 of Pentacles and the Star came out. Okay, so to be honest, no. She went alone in this. She didn't want to be talked out of it. The first 2 cards say it all, right? 6 of Cups, look at that. That's right side. She wanted to leave her family with happy thoughts and happy place, and especially her son. I think it's going to come out that her son loved boats and loved to be out on the water, and she wanted to give him that one last gift. 7 of Wands, absolutely. And she didn't want to argue with people. She didn't want people to try to take her son away from her before she got to enjoy him. 7 of Swords, absolutely. Again, that shows her picking up what's left of her life and walking away with it. She was like, I'm going to end things on my terms alone. The Alchemist, which is backwards. So she no longer had the power. She just did not want to live forever. Does that make sense? Like, she just did not want to go on. That she wasn't in control of her life and her feelings. So I think it's going to come out. I know they had said it previously, a long time ago, but I think it's really going to come out that she had a lot of behavioral health issues, mental concerns that just weren't addressed. Yep, the Hierophant. So she was truly religious, and that's the crazy thing about it, is this happened, and she really felt like, hey, this was the best thing. She really felt like God was telling her to do this. The Hermit, which is backwards. There was no logic. There was purely no logic in her last actions. And I am so sorry again, guys. I'm moving this over so you can see them. And look at that. The Empress. Yeah. The cards just keep saying she gave up. She didn't feel like she was strong enough. She didn't have control over her life. She didn't have control of the things that were going to be happening in her life, right? There was no logic. Even though she was like, oh, God is telling me to do it. This is the only way out. This would be the most peaceful and best way. Like, no. And then lastly, Queen of Wands. Yeah, look at that, guys. So definitely, she will be immortalized because of this last action, right? People aren't gonna forget her. There are gonna be so many stories that come out about her mental anguish and the things that happened to her. It's kind of like her swan song is gonna come out in the end. So I really wish.
Okay, guys, so that was that psychic. Now, the other psychic that I listened to was Trinity Oracles. Subscribe to their YouTube channel. Normally it's 3 of them, you guys. They do really good readings, but on the Trinity Oracles reading, they're stating that Naya is alive. It's just one girl this time that's doing a reading. But yeah, she's saying that Naya is alive. But in that reading I just played for you guys, you know, that psychic is saying that, you know, she took her life. So only time will tell, you guys.
Is Naya Rivera dead? Or is she alive? Naya Rivera is alive. I heard that loud and clear on air. As of today, July 9th, she is alive. I see that she is on an island by herself hiding out. I do see that Naya Rivera has a lot of mental health issues. Like Naya Rivera, I will say.
Boom. That keeps coming up, you guys. Okay? That keeps coming up. The mental health issues it just keeps popping up.
Naya Rivera not only has mental health issues, but she also has like a lot of demonic dark entities attached to her, and they tell her to do things that she normally wouldn't do. I wouldn't be shocked if a lot of her exes come forward and they're like, I've seen certain behaviors of her that were not normal. Naya Rivera just needs help. She needs to go to a psychiatrist, and she needs to go to a shaman. I'm not trying to be mean to the family out there, but I do feel like Naya Rivera is alive, and I feel as though she faked her own death. Or her disappearance. This is all pre-planned, unfortunately. So people want to know, like, will she actually ever be found? She is hiding. I wouldn't be shocked if Naya Rivera like actually hiding like in the freaking woods somewhere. I don't even think she's in a cabin. It's like she's just like running, trying to find a place to hide. She's very mentally ill. I'll say that. I'm just looking at her energy, and I would probably say that she's probably schizophrenic. She's paranoid. She doesn't know what's real, what's fake sometimes. She goes in and out of schizophrenic episodes. I just heard in my ear. That's not good. They said she pre-planned this weeks ago. And it's interesting. They said there's going to be people who are going to come forward, and they're going to be like, she told us, like, one day I was going to disappear. I'm going to disappear. I'm going to do it. And people thought she was joking, but now that it really happened, people are like, oh, shit. Like, she really did do it. She's been thinking about doing this for months.
All right, you guys, we've ran out of time. When it comes to the psychics, you pretty much get the gist of, what that psychic was saying and what the psychic I played for you before, what they are saying. So you can kind of see they're kind of saying 2 different things, but the main thing that both of them mentioned was the mental illness. So that's pretty much, what I got from the whole thing. Like I said before, you guys, none of us really knows, and more, I believe, will come out, as time goes on this situation, and I will be following this situation. Get down in the comments. Let me know, what do you all believe about what happened to Naya Rivera? Do you feel like it was possibly suicide? Do you feel like she suffered from mental health issues? Were you a fan of Naya Rivera? Did you watch her on Glee? I know I wasn't really a big fan of Glee, but I did see some clips, and she was wonderful, you guys, on that show. So, this is a very sad situation. So y'all get down in the comments and let me know about that, you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, Brand New, and I will check you guys out later.